If you got a man that takes care of their hygiene and you are over here walking out like a tornado hit you and you couldn't comb your hair, put clean shoes on, make sure you just like clean up, get the stuff out of your eyes and not make it look like you just woke up, yes, I'm telling you. Honestly, when you neglect your personal hygiene, it just shows that you have no effort for yourself. How can you allow somebody to love you thinking that they're gonna love you better than how you could love yourself? Hello, gorgeous. Today, you want to tap in for this one. We are going to be talking about a few behaviors in women that can make you come off really unattractive. And without realizing this, yes, it will hinder your current relationships or your future relationships. Now, while I was getting ready to make this video, I had a few thoughts. One was out of gratitude. I'm really grateful for relationships that didn't work out because sometimes you don't become aware of yourself, like the image reflecting back at you of how you're acting in that relationship and how much you've lost yourself because you weren't so self-aware, or you lost direction because you just didn't have your own direction. You were chasing someone instead of building a higher version of you that is meant to be chased. Because women, you're meant to be chased. You should not be doing the chasing, the lusting, the begging. I've been in relationships where I've begged, and I promised myself I'm never begging. As we reinvent ourselves, these are going to be crucial tips to live by if you want to manifest an amazing man, an amazing partnership in your life. If you're single right now, I want you to understand a few things, because after a crazy breakup of mine, I was single for 2 years and did the most self-discovery that transformed my life completely. And now I can definitely say everything I had on my vision board, I have in my reality. And that includes a good man. Sometimes when you're so busy chasing what may be out of lust or feeling loved, we forget ourselves. We forget ourselves in the process because of that emotion connection that we're looking for. And you forget to chase yourself. You forget to put yourself on that high pedestal where you have standards and boundaries. I remember times I would entertain men that didn't deserve me, but at that time I was a different version of myself that knew I had the potential to become this powerful, higher version of who I am today and only becoming. I wanted a relationship that held me accountable to that, but didn't force me to become this person, just contributed to me becoming this person. I love strong men, confident men, loyal, generous, you name it, all the qualities that a good man should have. And there are good men out there. Some relationships make you so turned off. I've heard so many times that women are like, you have so many requests on your list for somebody else, right? Now you need to take that back and really practice your own list, because when you enter relationships or you're getting to know somebody, you need to make sure that you are so self-aware of yourself and also open to contributing to another person's growth. And when you become a partner with somebody, you want to make sure they have at least similar morals, values, their character, their personality. Here are a few examples of what can actually turn off or make you appear less attractive to men. And of course, these vary depending on the man. However, these are just natural practices that women should avoid. Number one is going to be lack of confidence. Confidence is usually one of the most attractive traits for anybody because it exudes so much self-awareness and independence in a person. It took me a while to build my confidence and really understand that the more I know about myself and I'm more aware about who I am and really stepping into me authentically, showing up authentically, genuine, kind, thoughtful, just great character and personality helped me to attract better people. Usually when you're going for a very well-kept man, a woman that is not confident is not going to stand out to him. If a woman has to depend on a man to make her feel good or tell her that she's beautiful, for her to feel beautiful, or for her to feel like she's worthy, then not every man is going to have time to entertain that. Some men like women who are just naturally self-aware and just confident within themselves, that is the last thing that they have to force upon their woman or continue to hype her up about. It should just be something that the woman is so into that it rubs off on her man and she can pour into him a little bit more. I remember when I was insecure in relationships, I did not have confidence. I was at my beginning stages of dating. I put up with a lot because, again, I didn't have confidence. I had low self-esteem and I was really insecure. I was really needy and dependent on the man. Looking back at it, I definitely did not hold my own. Definitely put up with a lot of terrible treatment and terrible behavior because I lacked in that department. So for my women that are lacking in their confidence and they're just accepting the bare minimum or accepting what is just handed to them, I need you to understand that not everybody is allowed to sit at your table. Like, you got to turn it around and stop entering the table or entering the group chat to sit at anybody's table. When you start putting that love and that self-respect back into yourself, where nobody's emotions, their words, their behaviors can set you off, you can control a little bit of how people treat you and how you respond to them. But when you are looking for love and there's a top tier man ready to give it to you, you got to be so self-aware that he doesn't have to waste his business time making money trying to tell you you're beautiful, because that's taking money away from the minute. There are things that we should all be open about improving. And this is why we are on the Reinventing page. If you aren't already following my page, don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button. Number 2 is going to be excessive drama. Now, I had to sit down at the table with some of my generous friends that make, I wanted to know, I like men that are providers and protectors. Don't get me wrong though, I still like to make my own money, that's for sure. However, I do like a man that is generous with his thoughtfulness and him being spontaneous. And those men usually, they don't have to be that wealthy. But when it comes to drama, if you are looking for that type of man, you need to understand that they don't have time for the small problems. They don't have time to entertain excessive rude behavior. They don't have time for women that are very dramatic, over dramatic, emotionally sensitive, just very sensitive, just always like just mentally unstable. Like with men that are really busy, they're hardworking, and they're ready to give you anything that you want. They want a woman that if a problem came up, she could handle it with grace. This is who we're trying to exude. We're trying to exude a woman that is graceful, that is peaceful, that is the peace for a man when he comes into the house, peace for a man when he is beside you. When problems occur, do you calm him down or do you make it worse? Do you add to the fire or do you just try and put it out yourself, right? Because a lot of times when women are very over dramatic or they make the problem even bigger, they talk to you terribly, they deal with situations terribly. Now we got to pull it back and look at our behaviors and the triggers, because sometimes we want to react so quickly that we forget who we're speaking to. And if it's somebody that you love and you genuinely care about, you have to be very careful with how you're speaking to them, especially if they're providing a certain lifestyle for you. That does not mean that you tolerate bad behavior or somebody talking to you or belittling you or controlling you. Now you need to know yourself so people don't control you, because I don't care how much money in the world, I'm gonna do me and I'm gonna make my own money so nobody can actually direct my path. But listen, you gotta be better with your words and your behavior, and look at some situations like not everything you need to go above and beyond to drag it out. Because these types of men that are really good quality, they just want peace. Like, Good men just want peace. They don't want a bunch of chaos and turmoil. Number 3 is going to be neediness and being dependent. Now, let me tell you something. You got to be really careful with who you allow to feed you because they can quickly take it away. I've had the experience of learning that to know that I love making my own money and having my own independence, because if you let somebody feed you, they can quickly take away that plate and you are starved. The only person you can allow to direct your path and put your most dependency in is God, because a man can take it away. Now, if you're too overly dependent and just so needy, it's going to become unattractive. That men can just control you at that point. And if you don't have any goals, anything to strive for, any ambition, then it's going to be really unattractive to a man who's a hustler, a go-getter, very ambitious himself. And I remember when I sat at the table with my partner, I told him, I like an ambitious man because I'm a woman that is very into a lot. Like, I like drive, I like hustle, I love grit, I have all of those characters. So it's really important for me to date somebody who isn't lacking in that department, because I don't drive off of anybody's motivation, but I don't need to be the woman that's motivating you constantly. I don't want to be reliant on motivation or somebody telling me I'm beautiful or somebody telling me that I'm powerful or this and that, or I'm capable of making this amount of money if I don't believe it in myself. Because if you only act because somebody is reassuring you so often, it's just annoying at that point. It's very unattractive. Number 4 is going to be dishonesty. And I definitely can stand on this one because whether it's a friendship or a relationship, I think trust goes a long way. And once you break it, it's really hard to get it back. And don't get me wrong, like in the beginning, when you're trying to get to know somebody, I'm sure you fought with a few demons of, is this going to be for real? Is this serious? And maybe I'm just speaking from my own point of view, but I communicate that with my partner from the beginning when I had my little thoughts in my head, because I was coming from a broken relationship and I was coming from healing myself to become the higher version that I didn't want anybody to play on my time and break my heart or just show me disloyalty again. And I knew that it was so important for me to align with the next man that was going to be in my life. So I definitely dedicate being that woman that is loyal and honest, very transparent. I'm very open. There's no filter, and sometimes it's a good thing and sometimes it's a bad thing. But if you genuinely like somebody, don't do it because they can provide a certain life for you. Just if you genuinely like somebody, you will be good to them. Whether they're your friend or it's in a relationship, you're going to be good to them. But just remember that karma is a bitch. And yes, God sees all, unfortunately. Yes. There are so many good people out there in the world, and every time I look at my man, I'm just like, wow, I'm so blessed that I only want to do right by you. Like, the way you treat me only makes me want to do right by you. Like, the way that you make me feel important to me, and it's like what you do physically for me over and over. You show me that you're there. I owe it to you. When you put effort into me, I owe it to you. Good people that show you effortlessly that they're there for you deserve only the best of you, and that is being loyal and trustworthy. Number 5 is going to be lack of ambition, baby. That word ambition makes me so, I'm telling you, like I just said it. When I sat down with my man, I told him ambition is such a turn on for me because I love drive. I love setting new goals. And yes, no matter the obstacles and challenges, I love striving for them. I like falling down and I love getting back up. So important to have a person in your life like that you're loving on. Men love women who are ambitious. They don't just sit at home and just spend money. They don't just sit at home and lie in bed unmotivated and just think that they're going to be given the world. Now, I've had some friends that can provide housewife lifestyle. I tried being a housewife for a day and I went crazy. It's just not for me. I love what I do. I love the impact that I have and what I'm leaving in the world. So that life wasn't for me. However, I know that my man, when I asked him, what is it that is the most attractive part of me? And I thought he would say my body, because I don't know if you guys have seen my body. You should go on my Instagram. I'll drop the link. Go creep. The response he gave me was so different from what I've gotten from men before, because men usually tend to lust for my body, but from certain men, because their intent was so different for me, or what they wanted for me was so different, that it was always my body. When I asked my man what he liked about me, he told me my mind, my drive, how I think, how I move, how I treat people. Those are the characters that you can only build within yourself, especially when you're reinventing yourself. So it was important for me to be with somebody who sees that, you know, is fueled by that as well, because I work hard, he works hard. I don't have to be like, babe, I want this, so I need you to, no. Like, he sees your woman is not lazy. She's driving all the time. It's definitely a turn on to see a woman get up, no matter how many times she's fallen, and still see value in herself. And it's going to be so attractive to a man, especially if he is well kept. Men that work hard can really relate to a woman that is not trying to compete with them, but carries her own. Let me tell you something. Women that don't take care of themselves and strive for greater can become really unattractive over time, when there's nothing interesting about you, when you're just that girl that does the same thing, and your reality is to look like that, or be like that, carry yourself like that for the next 20 years. And yes, people are supposed to love you, but then you can also fall out of love when you're not constantly developing yourself. That could be in skills, hobbies, your character. I'm telling you right now that there are things that we should all be open about improving. And this is why we are on the Reinventing page. If you aren't already following my page, don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and definitely check out my tips in my previous videos, because they are all meant to help you reinvent yourself and become the hottest, healthiest, happiest version of you in the next few months. We're not waiting till the end of the year. Number 6 is going to be my favorite. I talk about this all the time, and it's poor hygiene, because there's nothing like seeing a woman that has high expectations of a man to be well groomed, and she cannot comb her hair, or at least make sure that she looks good and feels good in what she's wearing. When you step out of the house and you are just in bum clothes, but you're like texting your girlfriend, oh, I can't find a man. I mean, you're not putting effort into yourself. Men love a woman that is going to take care of herself and her maintenance, her personal hygiene. Okay, when I met my man, he told me that he really loves nails, and I just always make sure that my nails are well kept. And I used to do them before, but just seeing how much it means to my man, why not? Why not? My man goes, regardless of me, he'll go and get his nails done, and he loves being pampered. That's a really good sign of a man, and how he takes care of his own hygiene. If you got a man that takes care of their hygiene, and you are over here walking out like a tornado hit you, and you couldn't comb your hair, put clean shoes on, make sure you just like clean up, get the stuff out of your eyes, and not make it look like you just woke up, I'm telling you, yes. Honestly, when you neglect your personal hygiene, it just shows that you have no effort for yourself. How can you allow somebody to love you thinking that they're gonna love you better than how you could love yourself? When you neglect your appearance, it just shows self-disrespect, like no self-esteem, no confidence, no effort. And when we want people to do or act in a certain way towards us and put effort into us, how can they do that if you don't know how to do that for yourself? How can you expect somebody to love you if you don't know how to love yourself, or show someone how you love you so that they can actually learn how to love you when you're looking good? And girls, whether you're married or not, I'm telling you, putting yourself together, walking by your man, and other men are turning their heads, Other men are making it so noticeably awkward because they are doing the most in front of my man because I look good, because I'm on his arm. My man feels so good about that. I'm telling you right now, you gotta take more time and put more effort into yourself. Ending off with number 7, neglecting your health. And while physical appearance is not everything, how you take care of your internal health is everything. Let's talk about the way you eat, the way you carry yourself, what you drink, just how you take care of your body. Because I've been in relationships where I've completely lost myself. Like, I'm telling you, whether you've lost yourself, you're in a season of you losing yourself, or we're just working on repair, damage, and reinvention. I'm telling you right now, you can stay down for a little bit, and that's okay, but don't stay down for too long. Actually, when I started working on myself and I started getting that grit and that motivation to take care of myself and become the sexiest and the most confident version of myself, I stood out. I had more options than I had a lot of options. I have options. I have a lot of options because of how I am now. I had to take care of everything, my body, the way it looks, the way it feels, what I put into it, what I absorb, from my mindset to my gut health. I'm telling you right now, if your nutrition is crap, I know some of you guys don't like to cook, but what are you going to feed a well-kept man? What are you going to feed a man who's providing for you? Because cardboard, warmed up dinners is not going to work for a man who's coming home tired. You have to start learning some skills. You know what I mean? Like, my man doesn't like sugar, right? But I do. So I try and make healthy treats that I know he's going to enjoy, that he's not going to feel guilty about having, but it will still put an extra smile on his face, and that warms my heart. So I experiment in finding new recipes because I know that makes him happy. I'm telling you right now, making a man feel their healthiest, happiest, most sexiest while you develop yourself as well is so attractive. And if you don't know how to take care of yourself, how can you take care of him or help him? Because when men are so busy, they're focused on providing, they're focused on just being that hard-working, masculine man. They're looking for a feminine woman that is going to also contribute to him, not just drain him. And women, in order for you to help somebody or contribute, you have to be able to take care of yourself. You have to be able to feed yourself like healthy, nutritious food that gives you energy. Because I know sometimes we could be on survival mode, and survival mode is only going to last for so long, but then it's going to drain your relationships, and then you're going to be so exhausted, and then your relationship isn't going to be fun. And if you don't keep up with your maintenance, feeling young and youthful, I mean, I think that's why a lot of men go for younger women. I mean, I'm an old soul, so I do like older men, but I'm just saying my man is 14 years older than me, and I love him to death, but I keep him youthful. I love energy, and energy in general. There's no way of you getting natural energy if you don't take care of yourself. Working out, men want prizes, and you're the damn prize. So carry yourself like you're a gold trophy, like shining. You got to make sure not only the appearance is upkept, but what about your internal health, those muscles, right? You want to fit into your clothes and be like, yeah, I'm that woman. My man doesn't have to look left or right. He knows the champ is right here. The trophy is right here. The prize, honey, like I mentioned, I have options. I think he knows this because of how I carry myself and how I take care of myself. When I was neglecting myself and I was so insecure and low self-esteem, and I relied on him to make me feel good, he took it, like, not this one, like my exes, yes, they took advantage of that. Men that I gave and entertained, they took advantage of that, and they had other women on the side. They were entertaining women that, you know, you can't be all things for everybody. Not everybody's gonna be your cup of tea, but let me tell you something. When I'm taking care of myself, I'm independent, I'm hardworking, I know my value, I know that I'm not sitting at your table. You're sitting at mine. It's going to be a whole different ballgame if you think you could talk or treat me differently, because I would leave you in a heartbeat. Now that you have options because you take care of yourself, no man should ever disrespect you. However, if there's a good man looking to love you, he deserves the best version of you. And you deserve the best version of you that you're looking at constantly in the mirror without anybody having to force you to take care of yourself. Because if you want a well-kept man, trust me, he doesn't have time to tell you to look like the sexiest version of yourself. Yes, he sees it in you, but you need to see it in yourself as that motivation to be like, I have an amazing man. I need to make sure I stay sexy. I need to make sure I take care of myself. I dress well. I have perfume on. I smell good. There's a lingering scent. Baby, when I'm not around, he is in my clothes, smelling me, smelling for me, lusting for me. I need that man to be all up in me like I'm the best thing on earth. And honey, you cannot be the best thing on earth if you don't take care of yourself. There we have it, ladies. We can always improve on something, but remember, on this journey as we reinvent ourselves, it's not about the boys. It's about you. Stop chasing and start becoming the chase. Stop chasing these guys and you become the chase. You become the woman with options. You become the one who controls who sits at your table. While you reinvent yourself, rebrand, and discover yourself, it's so important that you work on your character traits, your personality, and becoming your healthiest, your hottest, and your sexiest version of you, and happiest version of you as well. Don't forget to like this video, share it to one of the girlies, hit that subscribe button, and drop your thoughts in the comment section. I definitely want to know one thing that is unattractive about a man, and maybe we can go there next time.